Here we go. Here we go.
For the show.
Here we go. Here we go.
Here
we go. Here we go.
For the low.
Okay, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. 4th and 1 hot take of the week. Peggy!
What's good, bud? Yeah! Come on now.
What we got, Peg?
All right, so we got a hot take. Tyrese Haliburton's dad crossed the line. All right, the last game, the Pacers versus the Bucks. The Pacers put them out, and Tyrese's dad stepped on the court, and he was put out in the wrong way. All right, so let's figure out what got him to that point. They just won. All right, close game. Bucks out. Tyrese is up on the scorer's table celebrating. All right, he had a great game. Dad jumps out of the stands, comes on the court, sees Giannis, has his son on a towel, and talking junk to him. All right, so Tyrese speaks about it, but also Giannis has something to say. But Tyrese spoke out first in a press conference and said, "I've spoken on it many times with my father. He was wrong. But at the end of the day, that is my dad. I'm not going to ridicule him by any means. I still have a lot of love for him, and I love him dearly." He goes on and say, how his dad was wrong, but it is still his father. Giannis, the Greek freak, all right, had one of the best responses of all time speaking about this situation in a press conference.
Nothing. This is the last time I'm going to say. I won't talk a lot. We lost the game. It doesn't really matter. One thing I'll say is that I believe being humble in victory. That's how I am. Now there can be a lot of people out there that are like, no, when you win the game, you gotta tag, and it's a green light for you to be disrespectful towards somebody else. I disagree. I've won the championship. They haven't. Okay, and that doesn't say anything. I'm not trying to minimize their effort, but I remember when I won, my mom that she's never missed the games from February 11th or 13th when she came in Milwaukee against the Knicks. She never missed a game. When we won the championship, I remember my mom, she was scared to cross. She was like, am I allowed to come and hug my son? I see, except now my brother does media. For this year, he wants to come back and play. But except in that, you've never seen my family see courtside. See, this is not something that we do. We don't. I try to keep my family away from the game. But losing the game, emotions run high.
That wasn't a father.
Yeah.
That was on the court.
Okay.
That was a fan.
Mm-hmm.
Hear me out.
All right.
Yes, the relationship is a father, but that's fan behavior, which leads me to this hot take being labeled proper fan behavior in any sporting event or any entertainment event, all right? Now, they have appointed areas for fan members or spectators to watch the actual game.
Correct.
So once you cross that barrier, you could call me crazy, but you don't know if you're a terrorist or just a fanatic. Mm-hmm. It's hard to discern in the heat of the moment.
Yeah.
Why I say Tyrese Haliburton's father at that particular point in time was no longer a father. He was a fan because of the actions that was acted in that moment.
Correct.
And it's easy for anybody to get engulfed, have a get out moment of, I'm having an outer body experience. They call it the fanatic Holy Ghost. And in any situation, we done been a part of someone, I love you. Oh my God. Yeah, that's what we.
So in that moment, you feel like you made the shot.
Yes, that's just a fanatic's response.
Fanatic Holy Ghost.
Yeah, the fanatic.
Caught the fanatic.
He caught it, right?
Yeah.
But in no way, shape, form, and I speak direct with this, is that acceptable?
Yes.
Because I'm not going to send no threats, but Giannis is a better person than me.
I mean,
He literally stood right there and was just like,
he got composure.
and he probably didn't really know what was going on. You know what I'm saying? In the heat of the moment.
He spoke on that part. He thought it was a fan first.
But I would say this, though.
What's up?
Going still on the topic of proper fan behavior. In no arena where you're a spectator, where in a situation where emotions are involved, should you ever antagonize a person when emotions are involved? That's at a youth event. That's at a collegiate event. That's at a professional event. That's at an event as a whole, just in general. Bro, take your dub, take your L, and go on about and say farewell.
So first, and I should have said this in the beginning. Now the Pacers did suspend his father from attending any Pacers home or away games for the foreseeable future. So that was his punishment. He's unable. He'll be watching his son, but from home. All right. But as a competitor, as a person that they said, Cam scores, he gonna celebrate, he gonna do X, Y, Z. When you just said, take your dub and walk off. When is that fine line? And then also too, you have had and still do have a father that has been one of those quote unquote strong black dads, or a dad that was very influential in your game, your life. Obviously, you see Cam, you're gonna see Pops, right?
Yeah. For the people who really know, and you're gonna see Mama Newton too.
Yeah, Mama Newton too, yes, right. for sure.
The
Both of them.
The whole family, right?
Yeah, the whole family. So, but a lot of times the dad gets that stigma of, oh, his dad is trying to steal the show. Tell me, how did you balance that? Number one, how did you take a win? And number two, how did you and your father balance that?
Well, first off, I can hear the comments now. Well, Cam was known to be celebrating in people's faces. Go back and do the history. I never started it. I just tried to finish it.
Finish him.
Come on now. Fatality. That's not Street Fighter.
Well, Tekken.
That is not Taken.
What is it?
You're going to get your culture
I'm
card
going to get my card.
taken. That is Mortal Kombat.
I'm tripping.
But you still standing.
I'm slipping and tripping.
You dig what I'm saying? During that, while I celebrated, I never antagonized the individual. It was always prompted to me, right? I never started it. The viral clip of even me in, playing the Tennessee Titans.
Oh, yeah.
Where, he came to me. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like I scored a touchdown, looked for him, and was like, yeah, blah, blah, blah. Blank, 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 explicit. That's the old me. Explicit.
Look at that growth, bro.
Blank word. Beep, 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 beep. What's up now? Nah, he approached me. I gave him what he wanted, and that was a show.
He wanted some attention.
If you didn't like me in the last rectangle on the football field, which is labeled the end zone, you should not have allowed me in. Because I'm a baboon. Meaning, interpretation, that is not a racial slur. That's me showing my behind.
And when you get in there, what you going to do, boo?
Show my behind. All the time. Porcupine. All right. But to that point, I've never antagonized a person.
Yeah.
I just celebrated.
Yeah.
It was a showman in me to be able to, do the Superman, do the dab, whatever you wanted to see, you came to see. I tried to give it to you. Okay, now in Tyrese's situation, his father took it a step too far.
Yeah.
Because he knows this, right? And even the father probably knows this. I don't really judge him by this because, once again, he caught the fan Holy Ghost. But in any situation where emotions, and I will say this again, in any situation where emotions are involved, never, ever antagonize a person who is caught up in the emotions, because you may be just as guilty of the outcome of the evocation. You dig what I'm saying?
Come on now.
I'm trying to give it to you
Come
in a
on
very
now. Say it one more time. Break it
articulate
down one more
manner
time, brother.
of this beautiful episode and this tape.
Uh-huh.
You are just as guilty
Okay.
of what comes from the situation by you and your actions starting the situation. Okay. And this is the worst part about this whole thing, Pig.
Talk to me.
Typically, when people have antagonized a person or provoked a person or a situation, what does the residual income come from that? That person plays the victim. I didn't even really do nothing. He just mad.
I was talking, he got it physical.
But you done pointed in the man's face saying, yeah, blank, that's why you done lost. Yeah. I told y'all was sorry. Get y'all sorry behind on. Yeah. You know, B to A.
Yeah.
You dig what I'm saying? It's like, man, come on, dog. I don't know no man or woman that's going to allow another man or a woman to be in this person's face.
At the law. Like that.
Yeah! Get out!
Come on, bro. Come on. What are we doing? Because what you going to do?
Do I make my point?
Yeah, I understand.
I'm going to go down in my pocket.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to get the tripod.
Okay.
You ever heard of the tripod?
No, the tripod.
Go down there, and I'm going to get the tripod.
That's what you call the tripod. Just the
finger,
okay,
middle finger, and the ring finger.
Okay.
And insert the thumb depending on how mad you is.
Okay.
Then you going to just get.
Say what? Teach the people at home.
This the important part, Peggy. You got to generate is that.
Okay, I got you.
Me and my girl always laugh about. There's a viral clip of Mr. Sampson. Do you have plans to resign? My boy said, "Let me tell you something." Yeah, Dr. Newsom. That right there.
That's gonna get him a bucket.
That's gonna get him a bucket. It's gonna buy you time.
Yeah.
So if I was Giannis in that situation, the Pop would approach me. Yeah. I would have went down in my pocket and got that tripod, and I would have generated a lot of.
Yeah, that's some good get right there.
That's a get.
That's some get back.
Listen, that's a get back. Stay back. And don't come back.
All right now.
You dig what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There you go.
But you end up on your back.
Okay. Hello.
Come on.
Hopefully not like Peggy looking up, trying to bite stuff. 100 verse 1.
Get out of here, man.
Get out of here. Get out of here, Peggy.
And you taking it too far, just like it
Get out of here,
did.
Peggy. I'm just saying, your words, not mine. You said you're trying to bite some.
Man, I'm just trying to survive.
Not trying to fight some.
Man,
He said,
please.
we trying to bite. We trying to bite. We trying to bite. We want some more. We want some more. We want some more.
Nah, man.
Huh? Peggy, stop your shenanigans.
Nah, you better stop yours now.
I'm trying to tell you something now. That ain't going to get you nowhere.
Nah, I ain't biting.
To certain clubs in Atlanta.
Yeah, all right. I see you got a membership
See,
already.
come on. We done got off topic.
Back to the show.
You know what I'm saying? We done taught you multiple things about this particular week's hot take, and that's proper fan behavior. Do not antagonize. Do not really poke the bear unless you want to be introduced to the tripod.
I got to ask one thing before we get out of here. Standing in Giannis' situation, earlier you said he's a better man than me. Now, as a gladiator, an athlete, it takes you time to come down from who you are. For sure. So, like, you play, we talked about this earlier, it's like hitting somebody full force or even getting in a fight on a football field, that might be a fine or a flag or, like, that might be bounds of play.
Yeah.
Same with basketball. You foul somebody hard, it's a tech, it might fine you. Now, when you come out into as a regular human being, as a civilian, you know, that is like you going to jail. Yeah. So like
you're going to jail today.
Yeah. So how much time, and then even talk about that as an athlete, you just lost, and just being able to compose yourself just to not even respond. Like, tell me, how long does it take an athlete to come down?
That's a great question.
And
that's subjective to the individual.
Okay.
But one thing that is needed is time.
Okay.
There's been times even shooting Funky Friday. There's been even times shooting 4th and 1. There's been times playing a football game where I have problems with coming back down to what I've labeled ground zero,
Okay.
right? Where it's like you're so caught into like, and you know what's surprising too?
Talk to me.
To the people who follow my streams, when I'm playing video games, I get so worked up. And some of my streams go on, from midnight all the way to 3 a.m. And then it's like I find myself at 5 a.m. still like jittery of like, man, why am I still so hyped and can't sleep? But that's just the adrenaline that's running. You see what I'm saying? I think it's so important for people that are caught into any emotions to really insert time to allow them the proper process to hit ground zero again.
Yeah.
Because that's a real thing. That's why we meditate. That's why we take time to ourselves to really collect our thoughts. But in that moment of, so much bent up emotions, adrenaline is rushing, the excitement, the anxiety. And then once that wear off, it's like, okay, now how do I feel, right?
Gotcha.
So I'm just thoroughly pleased of how Giannis handled that situation. And Tyrese and his father, it's not to say that they're bad individuals. It's just he just got caught up in the moment. And still, respectfully, that's his father. So you live, you learn, and then you have to deal with the consequences. I don't necessarily think that that's a consequence because he still has the capabilities, to look at the game. Now, if it got outlandish where he, can't even watch the game by way of being locked up, then that's a whole nother situation for a different time.
Yeah.
But that wasn't his father that we saw on the court. That was a fan. And that is our 4th and 1 hot take for the week. Make sure you like, make sure you share, make sure you comment. But Jimbo, make sure they do what? Subscribe! Yeah!
Yeah.